1.2 Face-to-face versus online learning.
Thank you very much, Janice, for agreeing to talk to us today as part of our weekly series for language teaching professionals.
My pleasure.
What for you is the most significant difference between learning a language face-to-face with a teacher and online?
Probably my biggest difference is about control. Teachers in classrooms act as group leaders, and they are more difficult to ignore than computers.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It can be both. Neither is necessarily better than the other. Some students are not as motivated as others and need a lot more pushing. Some work harder if they can choose the time and the place to study.
Is flexibility one of the greatest advantages of online learning then?
Yes, and that doesn't just mean having the flexibility to choose the time and place for study. Online students don't have to worry if they are not as fast as the others on the course. They can work at their own speed.
But what happens when you really don't understand something and there is no teacher there to ask?
It can be a problem when there is no instant response from a teacher to questions. Yes, but don't forget you are often studying online in a group, and the other students can sometimes be as helpful as the teacher. That's just the same as in any school classroom.
Don't students find it much more interesting to chat with each other when they are online than to work out the answers to grammar questions?
It is the teacher's job to make the tasks as stimulating as chatting, so that students really want to work. But that has always been and will always be the teacher's role. Kids chat to each other in class too, and as we all know, the older the students are, the worse that problem becomes.
What about technical problems? Isn't classroom learning far more reliable?
You can have power cuts and breakdowns, yes. But teachers do get sick too. Nothing is 100% sure. Power, electricity, is of course a worse problem in some countries than in others.
Computers are not cheap. Isn't online learning out of the question for some people?
A lot of people have probably heard of e-learning, but now we have m-learning too. M-learning is short for mobile learning. You can carry a lot of devices around with you. Tablet computers, e-readers, and MP3 or MP4 players. But probably the most common one for learning, not only in developed but also in developing countries, is the mobile phone. It's not usually as expensive as a computer, and many children already have one. Very convenient.
Does that mean teachers may actually be asking children to switch their mobile phones on and not off in the classroom in the future?
Yes, and I'm sure the students will be happier about having them on.